This Arduino tutorial would be a different one. We would be using our Android app to control a car, in fact a robot. How cool is that? A few decades back this was science fiction, but now we could build all this from the comfort of our own homes. Let us see how to build this project step by step. So to make this project you would need an Arduino Uno, a breadboard, a Bluetooth HC05 module, a couple of BO motors, two wheels for the motor, a caster wheel, a motor shield to connect all your motors, a buzzer, a couple of LEDs, a few jumper wires, some robot chassis, a 6 AA battery holder, and you would need some AA batteries to power up your robot. So you got a robot chassis with you. Get your motor and then just fix it like this. After fixing the motors, you will also have to fix the Arduino and the breadboard on top of the chassis, which would come within the kit. So let's fix that as well. So now I've got the Arduino fixed to the robot chassis. Also the motor has been mounted. So now it's time for mounting the caster wheel. So let us see how to do that. So for mounting the caster wheel, first you got to get one of these spacers which comes in the kit, and you got to place it right there. Rather, you could put a screw on top and you could so now I've got the caster wheel fixed right there and it's all stable with the motor. So now let's get ourselves with the motor shield and then place it in this manner right there on top of the Arduino. Now after that, let's connect our motors to the shield. So let's just connect our left motor first. Now it's time to plug in the Bluetooth HC05 module. So get yourself with 4 male-to-male jumper cables and then just connect it. So the VCC of the Bluetooth HC05 module goes to the 5 volt pin of the motor shield. So the middle row is the 5 volt pin and the outermost row is the ground and the innermost is the digital pins. After this, we just have to connect up the batteries and program our robot. So for the batteries, I'm going to be using a 6 AA battery holder and I'll be using 6 AA batteries. So using these 6 AA batteries, we'll be powering up the Arduino. So now we're all set up. So we could just keep our batteries right down there and so here's the Arduino code for the project by which you could control a car using a Bluetooth communication and your Android phone. So next, let me just quickly run through the code. So first I included the Bluetooth library. Next we define the pins of the Bluetooth. Next we create a string variable known as btval. Next we define the pins of the motor to which they are connected to the Arduino or the motor shield. Next we define the LEDs and the buzzer. Next we start the serial communication and the Bluetooth communication. Next we set the LEDs and the buzzer as outputs. Next we wait for the Bluetooth to be connected to the Bluetooth module and the Arduino. Next we make the buzzer to not buzz, that is make no noise initially. Next we define certain directions, like for moving forward certain motors should be high and certain should be low, and for right certain should be high, certain should be low. Similarly for the left, the back and stop. So while coming to the loop, the main loop, we first check if Bluetooth is available, and here is btval. So we had initially we had created a string variable, so we are just reading what is received by the Bluetooth in this variable. So next, if the bt value received is 1, then the car should move forward. If the value is 2, it should go right. If the value is 3, it should go left. If the value is 4, it should move back. If the value is 0, then it should stop. And also the LEDs and the buzzer should be low. Everything should be off. And if the value received is 5, then the buzzer should buzz. So therefore the statement. And if the value is 6, then the LED should be turned on. So this is the code. So here we're just defining the motors, and then it's all easy coding right in the main loop. So now let us look into the MIT App Inventor on how the app for this project is created. So first let us type the MIT App Inventor, and you'd get a first website. So this is the MIT App Inventor. You must first log in, sign up to the app. But since I am already signed in, I'm going to click on create apps, and you'd be able to see a list of apps which you have created. So let me open this app for the controller. So this is the app which I have created. So let me just quickly explain what and how you could do it. So here's the size. So if you're using a mobile, you could use the phone size. Since I'm using a tablet, I'm going to be using the tablet size. And so I have to create a few important components, like the Bluetooth client for Bluetooth communication, and the clock. So these are very important actually. And next we go on to the blocks for the block programming. Over here we first give the command for picking a certain Bluetooth app or Bluetooth communication, and here's the code for that. And when the button of disconnect is clicked, then the Bluetooth should be disconnected and the label should print not connected. So here comes the fun part. And here, so when the forward button is pressed, that is when it is touched down, then the value sent should be 1. And when you release your finger from the button, the value sent should be 0. Similarly for the right, left, back, horn, it will all remain the same. But for the light, for the LEDs, I've done it a bit differently. So what I've done is that when the on button is clicked, it is going to be clicked, not touched down. When the on button is clicked, then the value sent should be 6. And when the off button is clicked, then the value button should be 0. So from where you could get all these is under certain things. For these codings, you could go on to the respective buttons and you'd find certain control options here. And for this Bluetooth client, you could click on Bluetooth client and you'd see a few commands here. So you could use the call Bluetooth client and send 1 byte number. So this one would be good for it. And you would also receive the AIA file of this product, of this app, in the description. And so this is the app. So you could export your app by clicking on build and click on Android app.apk, and it will start running an export progress bar. So with this, you could the APK file would be downloaded to your system, and you could transfer it to your Android app, Android mobile, and then you could use it. So this is the MIT App Inventor. So let us see how this project works now. Let me quickly tell you what you would be observing before we head on to the real demo of the project. You would observe that when certain buttons are pressed on the Android app, then the robot would perform certain specified tasks according to the given input. So let us see how this project works now.